Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. Now this is a Tier 5 Soviet medium tank. It's the Matilda IV. And we're on the north spawn of Fisherman's Bay. And it's being commanded by Dark Paladin. Or Dark Paladine. So, battle's about to get underway. What can I tell you about the Matilda IV? Well, it was... a Matilda was sent to Russia under Lend-Lease in 1941. And the Russians thought they could improve the tank, so what they did is they stuck a 76.2mm main armament on and a Russian machine gun, and decided that it was better than the British equivalent. Had a little more armament as well. As you can see, the mantlet is different, the gun mantlet, but it's a pretty good little medium tank. Slow, but pretty efficient. About the same in many ways to the KV-1, but of course it hasn't really got the durability of the KV-1. Now, one of the weak points is that corrugated air covering over the engine bay, and also there's a weak spot in the driver's hatch. You can see there right in the centre, or driver's port. That's a weak spot. Okay, now Dark Paladine's coming up to the west side of the map rather, and he's getting close to those bushes. There's some enemy. Okay, spotted some. There's a sentinel there. Round out, gets a hit. Okay, it's got a fairly good reload speed, 3.33 seconds. Penetration's not that great, but again, if it's used with the HE ammunition, which is what the Soviets tended to do. Just as with the Sherman, or the M4, the ammunition really did make the tank, and you could get decent hits on the enemy with HE. Now, HE is also very good against troops, and the Soviets did tend to use their tanks mainly as anti-troop devices. Unless, of course, they came across something really heavy in the German armory, like a Tiger or something like that, then they call in the big boys, the artillery, to try and get rid of it, or one of the tank destroyers. Okay, that Sentinel's made a bit of a silly move. He's popped down there. He's picked up that M3. He was way too far forward. But he's taken a big hit. Oh, that was from the Bishop, and that means the Bishop is close within range, and you can see the damage to the engine cover. Okay, that looks is going to get shredded, but the looks can pen the Matilda IV, but for some reason he's not firing his gun. Oh, he is now, but he hit the rock, and he's out the game. And that Sentinel made a fatal error coming back round that corner again when he had such low health. Now, one of the good things you can do with this is exactly what Dark Paladine did, was hide his lower plate, hide his front by facing in and angling the top of your turret, and then you can do a lot of damage. And unfortunately, he's up against a British Matilda now, and they've got that 2-pounder squeeze bore gun, and he needs to be careful because he's got this T-40, and that's an American tank destroyer, fires HE shells, but he's got it, and he's now picked up the high caliber. Yes, so long as you can protect your front plate and angle your armour, you can deflect a lot of shots that are fired at you. Okay, we've got a Hetzer up there. It's going to be a steep climb because it's a very slow engine. A very low powered engine, I should say. So it's got to takes time to go any distance, which is why they tend to be support tanks. They're at a walking pace. They're walking tanks for troops. In fact, actually, the Soviets used to carry a lot of troops on their tanks. Okay, Bishop. Very close and was spotted, dude. He doesn't go to finish him off, and that's a bit of a mistake. Yeah, get some shells into him. There's the Hetzer. He's angling to fire. You should get him while he's angled, because... or is he turned the other way? Yes, he was. Well, he's gone anyway. Now he's taken him out. The Bishop was taken out by somebody else, actually. Okay, and he's advancing forward towards the enemy cap. Doesn't appear to be anybody left on this side of the battlefield. He's wiped most of them out. He's got 4 kills already. Oh, here we go. It's another Arty. It's the AMX 105 near those aircraft. Oh, and he got him. Okay, it's T-28 up by the midline, but it's only the top of his turret that's showing. That's a, you know, the outline's giving a fake reading because it's only the top. That Panzer IV though is showing properly, so he can hit that, but he didn't. He missed on that shot. Okay, that's the T-28's gone down now. That Panzer IV is hiding behind that house. Oh, he's gone. Okay, right. There's only one enemy left, and that's a BDR. Now, that's a French Tier 5 heavy. Carries a very nasty HE round. And Dark Paladin's only got 264 hit points left, so he needs to be careful. I do like these wrecked tanks in the middle of the poppy fields. Wargaming have added so many new features to the maps. They really are rather excellent. I think they've overdone it on the frogs though, on both this map and on Cliff. It sounds like you're squashing frogs most of the time. Okay, and somebody else, the T-34 managed to take out the BDR, so that's the end of the game. And a win 8 of 9736, which is very good. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And it's an ace tanker for Dark Paladin in the Matilda IV. He also picked up a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 5. He got a master gunner for getting 5 armor piercing rounds in a row. He got a duelist medal for killing at least 2 tanks which did damage to him during the battle, and a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his vehicle, as well as a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits on the enemy. He got 6 in total. But best of all, he picked up a high caliber. He actually did the most damage in the battle, at least 20% of the enemy hit points. Let's have a look at the team scores. Well, he managed to get 1,865 hit points of damage overall. He managed to get the highest number of kills, 5, and he got the highest base XP with 1,160. And that's pretty good for a Matilda IV, which shows that he was putting out a lot of damage. And I especially think that he benefited from angling his armor when he was encountering that Lux and the Sentinel. Very important to do that with this tank. And in fact, actually, I've gone up against heavies myself in the Matilda IV. And by angling the armor and protecting your front, you actually do protect your life. And you can easily take out KV-1s and KV-1Ss when you're angling correctly. So I'd recommend you do that. Let's have a look at the detail report. He fired 27 rounds, got 21 direct hits, 18 penetrations, damage of 1,865 hit points, of which 314 were at more than 300 meters. He received 5 hits, 4 penetrations, 1 non-penetration. He blocked damage of 115 hit points. He spotted 2 enemy vehicles, one of which was the Arty, and I think, in fact, both of them were the Arty, I think, actually. And he damaged 9 of the enemy and killed 5 of them. That's 1/3 of them. He did damage assistance of 203 hit points. On a premium count, he earned 58,011 credits, and he got 10,000 credits for completing a mission. So his grand total came to 68,011, and after ammunition resupply and repair, he was left with 18,415 credits. I think that's because he used a fair old amount of APCR during that battle. He also received 1 bond, and he got 1,740 experience points, but it was ×3 for the first victory, and he got a mission completion of 870 and 696 experience points because the Matilda IV is premium vehicle. So his grand total came to 6,786 experience points altogether, which just goes to show that this particular tank can be very useful if you're trying to improve your crew skills. In fact, what I do is I tend to put this tank up with a T-34 and possibly another premium vehicle, so I can train crews extra quickly by getting 3 times the daily multiple for first victory, because I can then just run the 1 tank on each of them, 1 crew on each of those tanks at least 3 times a day to get the multiple, and then my crews can get trained up 3 times as quickly as they would normally. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in our next video.